Alright, so if we want to find the greatest common divisor of two large numbers, we can use the Euclidean algorithm. So if we want to find the GCD of 1022 and 400, we can start by picking the largest number here, and it's obviously 1022, and we set 400 on the other side of the equal sign. Now we got to figure out how many times 400 goes into 1022. So we can do this either by our head, or we can just use repeated subtraction. So 1022 minus 400 is, know that 2 minus 0 is 2, 2 minus 0 is 2, and then 0 minus 4 we can't do that, so that becomes a 0, that becomes a 10, and 10 minus 4 is 6, so that's one time it went in, and then we do it again. So 2 minus 0 is 2, 2 minus 0 is 2, 6 minus 4 is 2. That's 2 times. And we can't subtract again, so this is the remainder here. And these are how many times it went in. So it went in 2 times here. So we say we multiply it by 2, and also the remainder, this is added onto the end. Now the next step is to put the 400 on the left side of the equals sign and the 222 on the right side of the equals sign. So 400 goes here and 222 is here now. 222 goes in 1 times into 400, and to figure out the remainder we can do 400 minus 222. 0 minus 2 we can't do that, 0 minus 2 we can't do that. We turn this, we take it into a 3. This becomes a 10, now this is a 9, this becomes a 10, 10 minus 2 is 8, and 9 minus 2 is 7, 3 minus 2 is 1, so that's the remainder here. Now next step, since this is not a 0 yet, we need to have no remainder for this to end. So 222 goes on the left now, 178 on the right, 178 goes in once. Let's figure out the remainder. (12 minus 8 is 4. 1 minus 7 we can't do that, we turn this into a 1, this becomes an 11. 11 minus 7 is also 4, and 1 minus 1 is 0, so the remainder here is 44. Now next step again, 178 goes here, 44 goes here. 178 goes into 44 multiple times. To figure it out we can use repeated subtraction again. Eight minus 4 is 4, 7 minus 4 is 3, and that's 134. So that's 1 time it went in. Subtract again. 4 minus 4 is 0, 3 minus 4 we can't do that, this becomes a 0, this becomes a 13, so that's 90 now. And then 40 we can subtract again, so keep going. That went in 3 times now. Subtract again. 6 minus 4 is 2. 4 minus 4 is 0. So that went in 4 times, and we got a remainder of 2. So we can say that we multiply 44 by 4, and the remainder is 2. Now 44 goes on the left again, 2 goes on the right. How many times does 2 go into 44? It goes in 22 times, and the remainder is 0. So now we know to stop. And to figure out, we got the GCD here. The GCD, we go up one line and this is the GCD right here, it's 2, so is 2. Alright, so now what if we have this question? So it's saying find A and B such that GCD of 1022 and 400 is equal to 1022A plus 400B. So basically here we have to find A and B. So we can use our previous knowledge from the last question. So we knew that the GCD was 2 here. It was 2. And we can look at the line where the 2 is. So this line here, we can see that it's 178 equals 44 times 4 plus 2. We can actually rearrange this so that 2 is on the left hand side of the equal sign, and we can work from there. So let's do it. So 2 equals 178 minus 44 times 4. Now here I actually don't want a minus here, so I'm going to change this to a plus and then change this to a negative 4. Now that's the first step done. Now we have to move up to this line, and we see that 44 is the remainder here. We can actually rearrange this as well and then substitute it into here. So 2 equals 178 plus, and then now we can substitute this line, so 222 plus 178 times negative 1, and then times that whole thing by negative 4. And I'm going to multiply through a bit, so 178 plus 222 is, so 222 times negative 4 plus 178 times negative 1 times negative 4. So this is going to be 5. And we can combine the like terms here. So this 178 and this one. So this is not meant to be 5 yet. This is meant to be positive 4. So combine these terms, 178. That becomes a 5 because of these two here. Now this line is done. Now we move up to this line since we have a 178 here. So we can rearrange this one as well. So 2 equals 222 times negative 4 plus 400, we see 400 plus 222 times negative 1, and then times that whole thing by 5. Multiply through. And then collect the like terms. That becomes negative 9. Now this line's done. Now we move on to the last one, the very top. So we have 222 here and we have a 222 here. So we can substitute the whole line in. So 2 equals 400 times 5 plus 1022 plus 400 times negative 2, and then times that whole thing by negative 9. So 400 negative 2 times negative 9 is 18. I'll do this in the correct order. $400. 18 plus 5 is 23. So we're done now. We reached the top. So that's what the extended Euclidean algorithm is. We work our way back up and we figure out what the terms are being multiplied by. So we got this form now, and we know that A and B is negative 9 and 23.
So previously we had, so for this question, let's read the question first. So find A and B such that 8 equals 1022A plus 400B. So we have to find A and B where 8 is satisfied. So before, let's write it down. We had 2 equals, so we had this previously. To make this satisfy, we can actually just multiply everything by 4. So we'll multiply 2 by 4. And we'll also multiply this by 4. But only the negative 9. Since we want to find A and B. So this will be 8. And this will be negative 36. And this will be 92. So therefore, A and B, so A equals negative 36 and B equals 92.